Hello everyone, this is Alex the Blue Man, and welcome back to my Spider-Man-a-thon. For today, I'm going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. For what I think when I first saw the previews, a lot of stuff is going down with Spider-Man trying to take down Electro. There's not much for me to say for this film when I saw those previews, but they showed quite a lot, especially that cliffhanger of an ending, if they could call it that. I won't specifically say until later in the video, but with all that said, is there anything that is considered amazing in this film? Let's figure it out. As with the previous videos, this will contain some spoilers, so don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie yet. In the movie, yet another calamity of a storyline, or multiple storylines. There's Peter trying to solve his disappeared parents' mystery, him breaking up then reuniting with Gwen, him going up against Electro, him reconnecting with his childhood friend Harry Osborn himself trying to find a cure for his disease, and Harry being betrayed by his own company. Wow, that is up to 6 storylines at a time, but I'll sort that out later. Let's start with the positives, just to keep this review simple and fair. There are some moments with Spider-Man that I enjoy, and I'll say 2 examples. When he rescued a kid from a group of bullies, that was a very nice sentimental moment. That is really equivalent back in the original Spider-Man 2 when he saved 2 kids from being run over on the street. A comedic moment is when he got sick, but still put on the suit to take out a mugger at a medicine store and he goes, "I'm Spider-Man." That was pretty funny, so much so it should become a meme out of itself. What I also like are most of the scenes with Electro. He can actually be sorry for the voice crack there. A worthy, threatening villain. That's what I enjoyed most out of that character, a worthy foe for Spider-Man to fight. What I also like is that one scene in the river, it's another sentimental moment. Him and Harry Osborn reconnecting their friendship. That was really neat. A majority of the final battle between Spider-Man and Electro was really cool to see. It's very fitting for it to take place at a power plant. Keyword majority. And now for the negatives. My goodness, I found a lot of moments and scenes wrong with this. As I said, this movie has not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but darn 6 storylines. It's like an entire show trying to be a 2-hour or so movie. This prefers quantity over quality, and that's just too much. Not only that, but this movie tries desperately hard to set up more movies, and not only that, but this movie also tries to set up the Sinister Six. There was one scene near the end of the movie where they showed vulture wings, the mechanical arms belonging to Doc Ock, and I'm pretty sure I saw the Venom symbiote. I don't know if it's just me. Some of the characters' motivations were either one-note or non-existent. Harry wants to kill Spider-Man for a lack of blood donation. Electro got angry and spiteful because he got distracted and someone shot his shoulder. There was even a couple of scenes focused solely on 2 planes nearly crashing each other into the sky. It contributed nothing. It was just shown for shock and race against time purposes. I do not need to know that. For the characters, let's start with Peter Parker / Spider-Man. He is more of a quipper compared to the previous film. Well, he takes things a little too lightly, like his first battle with Electro. Other than that, he is still the same. He still tries to figure out his parents' mystery. He tries to hang out with Gwen, one of his loved ones still passed on. It's just the same. I will say there is that moment with him pretending to be clumsy against some guy in a black suit and some other workers. It was cringy, but in a funny way. For Gwen Stacy, my goodness, do not get me started with her. She is supposed to be smart, but she actually did and say some stupid things, putting her hands on a metal bar when no one else didn't because of Electro, shouting Peter's name in public when he was masked as Spider-Man. She just complains that she alone should make her own choices, and she chose to be with Peter, aka Spider-Man. And how well did that ended? She was just standing around or hanging around like a zombie in the fight between Peter and Goblin. And I was like, there were standing pieces of metal. Just leap there and just stay safe. And of course, like I said, we all know how that ended. Harry Osborn, he comes off as angsty, mad at his dying father, mad at Spider-Man, and mad at the company who betrayed him. It's like he acts like everything is against him at that moment. Out of nowhere, he suddenly becomes this film's version of Green Goblin. All of that in one movie is one word that escaped me. Oh yes, too much quantity. His hatred for Spider-Man was, like I said, because he refused to donate his blood. A desperate, half-baked motivation, if you ask me. May Parker is more unbearable here. She's near the level of the character Mrs. Benson from Nickelodeon's iCarly. Hopefully Nickelodeon won't copyright this video just for that comparison. Back on topic, there was one moment she just goes on a bit of a breakdown just because Peter was about to do his laundry. There was supposed to be some deep meaning there, but that's all that was shown, to me at least. There's this character named Alexei, aka Rhino. He serves little to no point in this film, except for setting up the Sinister Six. And that's just it for him. And now for Electro. As a villain himself, he is a, like I said, worthy opponent for Spider-Man to fight, but in motivation, very, very poor. At the beginning, he's a Spider-Man fanboy, and when he actually becomes Electro, he hates him just because someone shot him in the shoulder from above, and he thought Spider-Man got him distracted just to get glorified. Let that sink in. Man, I've seen a lot of flaws in this film than usual. There are a few good scenes and things, like the fight with Electro, some moments with Spider-Man, and that reconnecting moment between Peter and Harry, but they're not enough to keep this film in even a mediocre scale of things. Too many plot lines, the characters have half-baked motivations. Gwen's death, that actually happened in the film, was cartoony, stupid, and unnecessary. And its way of setting up now cancelled sequels and spin-offs kept this movie way back from being a more cohesive movie. It's one of those films that, like I said, prefers quantity over quality. Those reasons are why this is the weakest Spider-Man movie in my opinion. While the previous film also had some issues, at least it's enjoyable enough and more consistent than this movie. With all that said, I am going to give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a 4.3 out of 10. And that is it for the Amazing Spider-Man duology movies. And finally into the MCU era films. If you like these films, that's fine. Don't get mad at me just because of my opinion on things. I do sound salty lately, I admit that. It's just months to even years of reviewing movies can take a toll. I feel like these videos are my longest movie reviews so far on this channel. But with all that said and done, thank you ladies and gentlemen for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment down your thoughts on this movie, and as usual, I hope you all have a great, booerific day.